Hey, what's going on guys? It's Cole here, and today I'm bringing you another guide for the brand new Black Ops Cold War Zombies map, Firebase Z. In this video, we're going to be going over how to complete the main Easter egg quest on the map, so I hope you guys are ready. Don't do this unless you're really familiar with the map and you're really ready to go. On screen, I'm going to have a couple things. One of them is required, one of them is recommended for doing the Easter egg. If you don't know how to do either of these things, I will have a link on screen and in the description for both of them, so go ahead and check those out if you need to. Also, I just wanted to say, at random points in the recording, there's a lot of this weird, random hitching and lag in the recording. I don't know what caused that. It just kind of happened. I haven't had that happen on a recording of mine before, so I apologize. But this was my fourth time trying to record this because of a step that I thought was broken. Turns out it wasn't. But people just hadn't really figured out what was going on with it yet. So I'm not re-recording it. It's 9:30 p.m. as I'm sitting down to record the voiceover and edit the video. So I'm way too tired at this point. I just need to get this done. So, sorry about the hitching. Hopefully it's not too much of a bother for you guys. But without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get into this. Once you have the pack punch activated in your game, you will have to go and talk to Dr. Peck. He can be found over here in the mission control area.
We did as you asked, Peck. So where the hell is she?
Once you let the dialogue play out with Peck, come back to the village and speak to Ravenov. When you are done speaking to Ravenov, he will give you his ID card, and we're going to be using this to make the truth serum that he mentions. Come over to this locker right by where you speak to him, and you can grab the first part of the serum.
I don't see it fixing his personality problems. Getting a little honesty out of that rat would be a nice change of pace. What's your take, Carver?
Go back to the firebase, and the second part of the compound can be found down here in this locker in engineering. And the third and final compound can be found up here in the Colonel's office, and if you don't know where this is, just go up the stairs and to the right from Jug. Now that we have all three compounds, we're going to come and mix them over in the barracks area in the field hospital. But be warned that when you do this, a bunch of hellhounds are going to spawn, and they might kill off your zombie if you're holding one, so just be careful and be ready for that. Once you've killed the dogs, simply go back and transfer it into the device, and then pick up the device. Now, before we go back and talk to Peck again, we are going to go above the mission control area on the rooftop and put the device onto this vent here. Once you've done this, you can go speak to him and progress the Easter egg. During your conversation with Peck, he's going to tell you that you need 2 activation codes and Samantha's ID tag in order to find her and open up the portal. To do this, we are going to come to the data center, interact with this machine, and take one of the devices out of it. I recommend that each player takes one for themselves. So now we're on to a kind of weird step, and one that I mentioned already previously in the video, because I mentioned that I tried to reset my game multiple times doing this, because I thought this step was broken, but it turns out we just didn't quite know how the step worked yet. So I'm going to try to break this down as simply as possible. So we have to capture 3 mimics that are all going to have the memories that we need to get the codes and the tracking key. However, not every mimic is going to give us the right memory from the machine, so we have to find 3 specific ones, and the indicator for this is really weird, and it took us a while to figure out if this was actually what was going on. Thankfully we did. I really just thought the game was broken, so let me try to explain it. You can find the mimics that you actually need for this step by walking into an area that has what seems to be a bunch of glitched out mimics that are just sitting there in their kind of prop form, but not actually activating, and then one of them will actually activate, and that will be one of the mimics that you need for this step. Once you've gotten that mimic to spawn in, you're going to have to lower its health below 10% of its total health, and you're going to throw down the trap and then activate it on the mimic to capture it. Think of it kind of like Pokemon, if you ever played that as a kid, where you have to get the Pokemon weak before you can actually catch them in the ball. It's pretty much that. So go around the map and find these spots as they show up. I believe that you can also only do 1 per round, so keep that in mind as well. Once you get each of them, you will get kind of completion quotes from Weaver. He will very clearly tell you if it is the right or wrong memory. And once you have all 3, he will give you another quote saying that you have everything you need to activate the portal. Once you have that quote, you can move on to the next step. Once you've completed the mimic step, go back and talk to Peck again, and he will tell you that you need crystals. Then, Ravenov will come on and tell you that you need an Ethereum locator in order to find them. Simply go to the locker right next to it when he gives you the code, and open it to grab it. You are also going to need a shovel going forward with this step, and you can simply find one just by going out to Scorched Defense and going in this bunker right here. Now we are going to go around the map and find all of the ether crystals that the guards have buried. The first one can be found right here just outside of engineering. Each one of these crystals also has a little gimmick in order to actually obtain them, and this first one, of course, is going to be a little tricky for me to explain and show to you again. So when you dig up the crystal, a ton of mimics are going to spawn in, mimicking the crystal itself, and each of them, except for one, is the crystal that you actually want to grab. Now when you go around and look at all of them, they're all going to have this little black and this little white cloud around them, but the one that you're looking for is the one that only has a white cloud and no sort of black mist around it either. So once you find that, hold F on it and that will be the right one. If you get it wrong, you're going to spawn every one of those mimics in as actual mimics, and then you're just going to have to fight them and wait until the next round to try again. So try to get this right the first time and be absolutely sure that you're looking at the right one. Now that we have the first crystal, we can move on to the second one, which is going to be found just outside of this door in the field hospital. So for this one, it's going to teleport around whenever you try to get close to it, and it's just moving too fast for you to actually grab it. So what you have to do for this one is get a Reiki on your team, just have someone who gets it, you don't need to have everyone have it, just one, and you're going to have to shoot at the crystal with the alternate fire to slow it down and give you the time to grab it. Now for the third and final crystal canister, we are going to come over to the jungle defense area and dig right in the middle of this lane. This is going to spawn a giant circle that you are going to have to stay inside of and defend yourself while you wait for the barrier around the canister to go away. You're going to get a lot of dogs, a lot of zombies, some anglers, some mimics. It's a bit tricky, but at this point you should have at least one Reiki in your game, so you should do pretty fine on this. If it does get tricky, I believe you can just run out of the circle. I haven't actually tested this, but at one point during one of my runs, I had a teammate actually step outside of the circle, and then the defense ended like 5 seconds later. We weren't penalized at all. So don't take that as gospel, but there's a chance you might be able to leave. Either way, once you're inside the circle for long enough, the barrier will go away, the circle will go away, and you'll just be able to grab it. Now that you have all three canisters, you're going to want to go around the map again and interact with all three of the ether reactors that you used to turn on the power and open Pack-a-Punch. This is going to actually put new crystals into those canisters that we are going to need to progress the egg. So go around the map and interact with each of these before moving on. Once you have done that, return to the OPC and a bunch of dialogue will play out. Once you've gotten all of that dialogue to play out, come to this computer in the planning offices and align the satellite dish. The way that you're going to do this is by moving the blue dot onto the yellow circles, and in the bottom right corner of the screen, you're going to see a little indicator of the flag from the country that satellite is from. You're going to want to find the one that's a question mark and interact with that one. Once you have done that, return to the OPC, and you can just take the rest of the Easter egg on your own from here. I don't want to spoil all of what happens from here. You won't need any help moving forward. The game is just going to hold your hand and tell you exactly what to do. You won't have a single issue figuring it out. Trust me, like, not a single issue at all. So, yeah, with that, you guys now know how to do the egg, and I hope you enjoyed the ending, and I hope you enjoyed the new map as a whole. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, comment, or a subscription. All of those would be greatly appreciated. If you're looking for more Firebase Z guides, I have more of them up on the channel, and I have more of them coming soon. So feel free to check the channel itself or the playlist in the end cards of the video for more. If you're looking to catch some Firebase Z content live on Twitch, or just any other Zombies content live on Twitch, I will have the link to my channel on screen and in the description below. I stream on there all the time, and we'd love to have you guys come and chill out and chat. But with all that being said, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the map, and goodbye.